The massive research vessel Horizon hummed softly as it prepared for departure from Earth's primary orbital station. June Park stood near the main viewport, watching the blue-green planet slowly shrink behind them. His hands were steady, but his heart raced with anticipation. At 32 years old, June was the youngest mission commander in the Interstellar Exploration Program. He had worked his entire career for this moment, a deep space research mission to the outer edges of known human-explored space. The mission was risky, complex, and potentially groundbreaking. Around him, the ship's small crew of 4 moved with practiced efficiency. Hannah Kim, the lead scientist, was checking quantum navigation systems. Her fingers danced across holographic displays, confirming each calculation with meticulous precision. She was brilliant, perhaps the most intelligent person June had ever known. Dae Wong, their technical engineer, was busy running final system checks. His muscular frame moved quickly between control panels, ensuring every mechanical system was functioning perfectly. He wore a standard-issue navy blue jumpsuit, its patches indicating years of space travel experience. Yuna Choi, the mission's medical and biological expert, was reviewing crew health records and preparing long-term survival protocols. Her calm demeanor masked a deep understanding of human physiological challenges in extended space missions. The Horizon was not a typical research vessel. It represented humanity's most advanced technological achievement. Equipped with quantum propulsion, artificial gravity systems, and advanced life support technologies, the ship could sustain its crew for years without returning to Earth. Their mission objective was simple yet ambitious: explore uncharted regions of the Andromeda sector, searching for potentially habitable planets and gathering scientific data. No human expedition had ever traveled this far from Earth. "Systems are green," Hannah announced, her voice cutting through the quiet background noise of electronic equipment. "Quantum drive is stable. Navigation coordinates are locked." June nodded, a slight smile crossing his face. Years of training, countless simulations, and rigorous selection processes had prepared them for this moment. Each crew member had been chosen not just for their technical skills, but for their psychological resilience and ability to work together in extreme isolation. The orbital station's control center made final communication checks. A stern-faced controller reviewed their mission parameters one last time, her holographic image flickering slightly in the ship's communication array. "Horizon, you are cleared for deep space exploration." The controller's voice was professional, devoid of emotion. "Your mission parameters are authorized. You may proceed." June took a deep breath. Behind him, the crew waited silently. This was more than a scientific expedition. It was humanity's next great leap into the unknown. The ship's quantum drive began to hum, a low vibration that seemed to resonate through every metal panel and electronic system. Stars outside the viewport began to stretch, transforming from pinpoints of light into long, luminous streams. They were moving, faster than any human vessel had ever traveled before. Dae monitored the propulsion systems, making micro-adjustments to maintain optimal performance. Yuna began her first round of crew health monitoring, checking vital signs and recording initial mission data. Hannah continued analyzing stellar cartography, her eyes constantly moving between multiple holographic displays. Complex mathematical calculations scrolled beside star charts, revealing potential research targets. As Earth disappeared completely from view, replaced by an endless canvas of stars and darkness, June felt a mixture of excitement and profound responsibility. They carried with them the hopes of an entire planet, the dreams of countless scientists and explorers who had imagined this moment for generations. The Horizon slipped silently into the vast, unknown regions of space, its crew united by a single purpose: to discover, to understand, and to expand the boundaries of human knowledge. Their journey had begun. The Horizon drifted through an unexplored sector of space, silent and alert. 30 light-years from Earth, the routine scan suddenly transformed into something extraordinary. A complex quantum signal erupted across their monitoring systems, unlike anything they had ever encountered. Hannah Kim froze, her fingers hovering above the holographic interface. The signal was not random noise or background radiation. It contained a structured pattern, deliberate and mathematically precise. "Something's responding to us," she whispered. Dae Wong rushed to her station, his eyes wide with curiosity. The signal pulsed with rhythmic intensity, creating intricate wave patterns that seemed to dance across their screens. Complex mathematical sequences repeated themselves, suggesting an intelligent source. The ship's primary computer struggled to decode the transmission. Fragments of information flickered and dissolved, leaving behind tantalizing glimpses of something profound. Each wave carried encoded information that suggested technological sophistication far beyond human understanding. Jun Park watched the analysis unfold, his training competing with a growing sense of excitement. This was no natural phenomenon. Something was communicating, or attempting to communicate. Yuna checked the crew's physiological responses. Their heart rates had increased, adrenaline pumping through their systems. The anticipation was palpable, filling the ship's compact research space with electric tension. The signal originated from a seemingly empty region of space. No planetary bodies appeared on their initial scans. No stars, no asteroid fields, nothing that could logically generate such a complex transmission. "It's coming from nothing," Da muttered, adjusting sensor configurations. Hannah's fingers moved rapidly, running complex algorithms to triangulate the signal source. Mathematical equations scrolled across her screens, breaking down each quantum wave into microscopic components. Suddenly, a holographic representation materialized. It was not an image of any known life form, but a three-dimensional geometric structure that seemed to pulse with internal energy. Mathematical symbols and unknown linguistic patterns swirled around its core. "This isn't random," Hannah declared. "This is a message. Someone, or something, is trying to communicate." The signal's intensity increased. Their computer systems began receiving more data, fragmented but increasingly coherent. Strange mathematical sequences suggested a language beyond human comprehension, yet structured with unmistakable intelligence. June approached the display, studying the intricate patterns. Years of training had prepared him for potential first contact scenarios, but nothing could truly prepare a human for this moment. "Are we receiving the communication?" he asked, his voice calm despite the unprecedented situation. The ship's systems continued processing. Each passing second revealed more complexity in the transmission. It was like watching an unknown language slowly take shape, revealing glimpses of meaning without fully translating. Day ran emergency diagnostics, ensuring the signal wasn't corrupting their systems. Everything checked out. The transmission was genuine, coming from an unknown source that defied their current understanding of space and communication. Yuna monitored the crew's health, watching their physiological responses. Increased cortisol levels, elevated heart rates, all normal responses to an extraordinary discovery. Hours passed. The signal continued, changing subtly, revealing new layers of complexity with each passing moment. It was patient, persistent, almost as if waiting for them to understand. "We're not just receiving a signal," Hannah finally said, her voice filled with a mixture of scientific excitement and profound wonder. "We're being invited somewhere." The geometric hologram pulsed, its internal structures shifting in mesmerizing patterns. Something was waiting. Something was watching. Their first contact had begun. The landing module descended through layers of strange atmospheric gases, its sensors working overtime to analyze the alien environment. June's hands gripped the navigation controls, guiding the craft with precision learned through years of training. Below them, a crystalline landscape emerged. The planet's surface wasn't like anything they had imagined. Geometric structures rose from the ground, creating intricate patterns that seemed to shimmer and change as light moved across them. These weren't natural formations. They were clearly artificial. Dae's scanning equipment went wild. Multiple energy signatures erupted from beneath the planet's surface, creating complex interference patterns that challenged their understanding of physics. "These readings make no sense," he muttered, rechecking his instruments. The landing site was a massive plateau surrounded by towering crystal formations that reflected light in impossible ways. As their module touched down, a strange humming began, not from their equipment, but from the planet itself. Hannah was the first to notice the underground structures. Her thermal imaging revealed massive chambers hidden beneath the surface, each one showing complex technological signatures. "There's something down there," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Yuna prepared the environmental suits, checking each seal and oxygen system. The planet's atmosphere was breathable but strange, filled with elements that didn't match any known planetary composition. As they prepared to exit the module, the first transmission came through. It wasn't a signal from their ship, but a direct communication that materialized in their communication systems. Fragmented words, parts of a message that seemed to be waiting for decades. Survivors, colony, hidden, waiting. The words didn't make sense. They were parts of a larger message, hints of something profound that lay just beyond their understanding. June's hand hovered over the module's external scanner. Something about this place felt familiar, yet completely alien. The crystal structures seemed to pulse with an internal energy, almost like they were alive and watching. Their drilling equipment began to reveal the first layers of the underground complex. Each meter they descended brought more surprises. Advanced technological remnants suggested a civilization far more complex than they had anticipated. Then they found the first human artifact. It was a simple identification badge, weathered but still readable, stamped with an official government seal from an expedition nearly 50 years earlier. This wasn't just an alien world. This was a lost human colony. Day pulled the badge from the rock, his hands trembling. "This is impossible," he said, examining the faded identification. It belonged to a Dr. Elizabeth Rodriguez, part of an early deep space exploration team that had vanished decades ago. The underground chambers began to reveal their secrets, advanced technology that looked decades ahead of current human capabilities, power systems that seemed to generate energy from nothing, communication arrays that could transmit signals across impossible distances. Hannah's scientific mind raced with possibilities. They didn't just survive, she realized. They evolved. They created something entirely new. The transmission continued, revealing fragments of the story. A group of explorers who had discovered this planet, a secret colony that had been deliberately hidden from Earth, technology that had transformed human understanding of space and survival. June looked at his team. They were no longer just researchers. They had become witnesses to humanity's most extraordinary hidden chapter. The planet seemed to pulse around them, as if waiting for them to understand its complete story. Centuries of secrets were about to be revealed, and they were standing at the very edge of that revelation. Something waited in the depths below, something that would change everything they knew about human exploration and survival. Their mission had just become something much larger than a simple research expedition. The underground complex stretched for kilometers, a labyrinth of advanced technology that defied current human understanding. June's team moved carefully, their lights revealing corridors that seemed to pulse with stored energy. Old computer systems flickered to life as they passed. Dusty screens showed fragments of recorded messages, logs from the original colonists who had disappeared decades ago. Each fragment told a piece of an incredible story. Dr. Elizabeth Rodriguez's personal logs revealed the truth. This wasn't an accidental colony, but a deliberately hidden human settlement. 50 years ago, a group of scientists and explorers had discovered a way to create a self-sustaining civilization far from Earth's knowledge. Day discovered the first major breakthrough, an advanced quantum communication system that could transmit information across impossible distances. The technology was generations ahead of anything on Earth, capable of manipulating space-time in ways scientists had only dreamed about. Hannah's scientific mind worked overtime. The colonists hadn't just survived, they had thrived. They had developed medical technologies that could reverse aging, create perfect genetic modifications, and heal almost any disease. Their understanding of human potential had expanded beyond anything imaginable. Yuna found medical records that shocked her. Children born on this planet had developed extraordinary abilities, enhanced immune systems, increased cognitive functions, and physical capabilities that seemed almost superhuman. This was evolution accelerated by choice, not chance. The colony's power sources were most surprising. They had discovered a way to harvest energy directly from quantum fluctuations, creating unlimited power from what seemed like nothing. No pollution, no waste. Pure, clean energy that could transform human civilization. Communication logs revealed why they had hidden themselves. The original colonists believed humanity wasn't ready for their discoveries. They feared that governments and corporations would misuse their advanced technologies. So they created a hidden sanctuary of human potential. June realized they were holding the most significant scientific discovery in human history. This wasn't just a lost colony. This was proof of humanity's incredible potential for adaptation and growth. Old video recordings showed the colonists' daily life. They looked human, but different, more confident, more connected to each other and their environment. They had created a society based on cooperation, scientific advancement, and collective growth. The team found personal stories that touched their hearts. Families who had chosen to leave Earth, scientists who had sacrificed everything to create a new form of human civilization. Their journals spoke of hope, of creating a better future away from Earth's conflicts. Genetic research files showed something even more incredible. The colonists had found ways to enhance human capabilities without losing individual identity. They could improve intelligence, physical health, and emotional resilience through careful genetic modifications. Dad discovered communication logs with Earth. The colony had been watching, collecting information, waiting for the right moment to reconnect. They hadn't abandoned humanity. They had been preparing to help humanity evolve. Hannah's hands shook as she processed the information. "We're not just discovering a lost colony," she said. "We're finding humanity's next evolutionary step." The complex seemed alive around them. Technology that responded to their presence, systems that seemed to recognize them as long-lost members of the same species. It was as if the entire planet was a living, breathing entity waiting to be rediscovered. June understood the weight of their discovery. They weren't just researchers anymore. They were bridge builders between two versions of human civilization, the one they knew and the one that had been waiting in secret. As they prepared to document their findings, the magnitude of their discovery became clear. This was more than a scientific breakthrough. This was a moment that could reshape human understanding of potential, of survival, of what it means to be human. The lost colony had been waiting, and now they were ready to be found. Their mission had transformed from a simple research expedition into something far more profound, a reconnection with humanity's hidden potential. The Horizon prepared for its journey back to Earth, carrying the most significant scientific discovery in human history. June's team worked silently, processing the incredible information they had uncovered. Their ship now contained technology that could revolutionize human civilization. Day installed quantum data storage systems, carefully transferring the colony's research materials. Each file represented years of hidden scientific advancement. Medical breakthroughs, energy technologies, genetic research, all carefully preserved and waiting to be shared with humanity. Hannah monitored the ship's systems, her mind still processing the incredible discoveries. They had found more than a lost colony. They had discovered humanity's potential future. The technologies they carried could solve global challenges like disease, energy shortages, and environmental destruction. Yuna prepared medical documentation, her hands moving carefully through holographic interfaces. The genetic research they had discovered could transform human health, offering solutions to problems that had plagued humanity for centuries. The ship's communication systems suddenly became active. A signal from the crystal planet began transmitting additional information, almost as if the colony was helping them prepare for their return. Complex data streams provided additional context to their discoveries. June understood the responsibility they carried. This wasn't just a scientific mission anymore. They were returning with information that could change everything humanity understood about its own potential. As they passed through deep space, the team reviewed their findings. The lost colony had developed technologies that seemed like science fiction. Quantum communication systems that could transmit information across impossible distances, energy production methods that created power from nothing, medical technologies that could reverse aging and enhance human capabilities. The personal stories touched them most deeply. Journals of scientists and families who had chosen to create a new form of human civilization. People who had sacrificed everything to build a society based on cooperation, scientific advancement, and collective growth. Day discovered additional communication logs. The colony had been watching Earth, waiting for the right moment to reconnect. They hadn't abandoned humanity. They had been preparing to help humanity evolve. Hannah's scientific analysis revealed the true depth of their discovery. These weren't just technological advancements. This was evidence of human potential beyond anything previously imagined. A version of humanity that had chosen to grow, to improve, to become something more. The ship's computer began processing the massive amount of data. Each file revealed new layers of incredible scientific advancement. Medical research that could cure diseases, energy technologies that could solve global environmental challenges, genetic research that could enhance human capabilities. Una found medical records that showed children born on the colony had developed extraordinary abilities. Enhanced immune systems, increased cognitive functions, physical capabilities that seemed almost superhuman. This was evolution accelerated by choice, not chance. June knew their return would change everything. Governments, scientific institutions, medical research centers, all would be transformed by their discoveries. The world would never be the same once they shared what they had found. The Horizon moved silently through space, carrying the promise of human potential. Each passing moment brought them closer to Earth, closer to revealing the incredible story of the hidden colony. Communications with Earth began to improve. Initial reports from Mission Control suggested excitement and disbelief. No one could quite understand the magnitude of what the team had discovered. As they approached Earth's solar system, the team reflected on their journey. They were no longer just researchers. They had become witnesses to humanity's most extraordinary hidden chapter, a story of hope, of potential, of what humans could become if they chose to grow and evolve. The crystal planet disappeared behind them, but its secrets remained carefully stored in the ship's quantum data systems, a reminder of a hidden civilization that had been waiting, watching, preparing to help humanity take its next great step. Earth grew larger in their view screen, the blue-green planet waiting to learn about its own incredible potential. Their mission was complete, but their real journey was just beginning.